What's going on? It's Derek, and it's another day for jazz. I'm a few of these in. I can feel myself improving, and I'm just thinking about the fact that, I have a fair amount of experience with guitar. I've been playing it for quite a while, and maybe I'll talk about this more sometimes. But if you are newer to guitar, this is not as easy necessarily as I'm making it look. Now I know maybe I'm just not making it look easy, and if so, great, because it's not. But at the same time, this isn't just me picking up something brand new and learning it. There's a lot of experiential stuff that goes into knowing how to do this. A pretty good relative pitch, some familiarity with the staff, pretty good understanding of the neck, being able to follow intervals and understanding what the jazz chords are and kind of how they're supposed to work. The point is, while I would definitely encourage anyone to do this, don't get disappointed if it feels pretty hard or if it takes you longer than it seems to take me, right? I mean, these videos are cut down between 10 and 20 minutes. Realistically, this is taking me anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half, and that's with all of that baked in. So do it, but it's a learning process. We're here for the journey. So anyways, now that pep talk's out of the way, it's time to pick a song. Last time we did Up Jump Spring. We're gonna jump back, and I'm seeing a song called Miss Anne that looks not too terribly involved, but so many accidentals in the melody here. Mostly eighth notes with a triplet. We've got a diminished chord. I think we're going to try that. I think we're going to do Miss Anne by Eric Dolphy. Now it says it's medium tempo. That probably means it's going to be blazingly fast based on a few past songs. But I don't know. We'll start there. We'll give it a shot. We'll see how it sounds. I'm sure I'm going to fly through the chords. They don't look too involved, but I think the melody is going to be weird. So we're in C, but there's 1,000 accidentals. So here we go. Okay, so I just did the first run through. I was able to get through them easily enough, but I am not picking up a through line on this in these chords. I'm going to hit them a couple more times just to make sure that I've got it, and then I'm going to move on to the melody. But this is going to be an interesting one, and I don't think I'm going to have a good cohesive picture of how it's supposed to sound until I end up putting it together. But we'll see. Cool, so there's a couple of things here that I'm seeing. One of them is this 8VA with an asterisk. This is optional 8VA to the end. I'm not sure what that means. I'm gonna have to look it up. Then at the very end here it says fine, or maybe fine. I know that a lot of musical terms are based on Italian, so maybe fine, which feels like it would mean finish, but I don't feel like it would have to say that because it's at the end. So there must be something more to it. I'm gonna have to look that up. And repeat head and out. I'm not sure what that's going to mean. We're going to have to look it up. Actually, you know what? I'm going to look it up, but the entire song is encapsulated in repeat marks. So it might just mean play it again. I don't know, but I'm going to have to look it up. Let me go ahead and do that. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this optional 8VA to the end is saying that optionally you can play these an octave higher than they're notated, which I see that those notes are pretty low. We've got a lot of ledger lines there, and even not playing how a guitar typically plays on a staff where it's already an octave down, I could see that going pretty low. So that'll be interesting to play around with. Let me check on fine. Okay, so fine does mean the end. It is pronounced fine, and it's just telling you to stop playing there. So in this case, it's a quarter note followed by a bunch of rests. And I think it's just telling us don't keep playing that F sharp minor 7 for the whole two measures. Just that's the end. Stop. And repeat head and out. Okay, so repeat head and out basically means what I thought it meant. It basically just means go back to the beginning. What I read is that you play the melody as written, and then at the repeat head and out, you go back and maybe play for solos under the same chords, and then for out, after the solo, and you go and play back through the entire thing again. Maybe not in every case, but in this case at least, the whole song is in repeat signs. So pretty standard, at least for how I've been doing it. Play it and then solo, and then play it again. So that all makes a lot of sense. Anyways, I'm going to start on the melody. So our first note's a B flat, which makes sense. It's under a C7, but we've got just a whole lot of accidentals here. So this is going to be a struggle. Here we go. This one is really testing my knowledge of the notes. I cannot rely on the key signature here hardly at all, or intervals really, because there's so many accidentals that I don't know which like second or third it is. So I guess I picked a good piece to learn. I'm through the first line, and this is all under a C7, but it feels like we're arpeggiating just everywhere right now. Yeah, intervals is getting me nowhere on this because there are so many things where like right here, it's taking me, that's the melody here, and it's written as A flat, G flat, E. But like this jump right here is a third, and so I can't trust that that's a third because that's a major second. And immediately after it, it notates it as an F sharp instead of G flat. So yeah, like I can't even trust like my instincts of what I just played. I just have to read the music, which I don't know, seems intuitive, but at the same time, that's hard for me. This one's a struggle. This one's tough. Literally that C flat, that's like low. Okay, C flat. Are you kidding me? And I spent so much time on this one that I have no clue what the context is. Oh well, hopefully remember that. Yeah, that is an F. I have a fair amount of experience with guitar. I've been playing it for quite a while, and maybe I'll talk about this more sometimes. But like, if you are newer to guitar, this is not as easy necessarily as I'm making it look. This isn't just me picking up something brand new and learning it. There's a lot of like experiential stuff that goes into knowing how to do this. A pretty good relative pitch, some familiarity with the staff, pretty good understanding of the neck, being able to follow intervals and understanding what the jazz chords are. While I would definitely encourage anyone to do this, don't get disappointed if it feels pretty hard or if it takes you longer than it seems to take you. Do it, but you know, it's a learning process. We're here for the journey. Ends on a B. There we go. That's the melody. It's as good as learned. This is going to take a lot of work. I have no through line. I've been through the melody once and it took me like 30 minutes. So I guess I'll just keep on working on it. Man, that was rough. I mean, I don't know if this is a thing in jazz, but like we were not in C. Uh, Maybe it's just because it goes everywhere and it's easier to like not give it a key signature and just give the notes. Feels a little bit less structured, but I guess that makes more sense if it's as all over the place as this one felt. You know, I listened to the recording. It's on saxophone. It's a little bit faster, and like it sounded good. I don't know. It sounded like jazz. Mine didn't do it. I don't know. Maybe this song's not for guitar. I noticed in Eric Dolphy's recording that the saxophone was obviously very present, very like there, and so that was the melody, and the drums were very there, and then you've got like a walking bass line. But to be honest, I don't know. Maybe if you're used to listening to that type of thing, you can follow. But you've got a walking bass line and a piano that feel way lower in the mix, and almost to the point where they're drowned out. Like they're there, and they do provide something, but the chords that they're providing, at least the ones that I played, just didn't really feel like they fit with the melody. Now, this is probably an extremely naive critique. I'm sure I just don't get it. And so let me know in the comments, like what am I missing? What don't I get? I would love to understand it better. Because I mean, you heard my recording. It just didn't sound very cohesive. And like from what I could tell, I got it all right. I didn't have any serious mistakes in the melody that just like it's like, well, no wonder. If I would have fixed that, then of course it would have sounded much better. Like I didn't have any of that, not as far as I could tell. But like even playing over it, I just had to be confident in the melody that I learned, because it never felt like it fit over the chords. And then whenever I was soloing, whenever I was improvising, like one time I heard someone say that if you don't play music, you should go and rent a saxophone and then just like pretend like you know how to play and blow into it, and it's gonna sound all right. It's gonna sound like jazz. And honestly, that's how I was feeling with this one. I don't know. I'm sorry if you love this song, but it just did not do it for me. It's not that it was hard. I enjoyed the challenge, and it was really hard, like learning those accidentals. But like whenever I was improvising, I just had to follow my heart. I didn't know where we were. I didn't know where we were going. There were some things that I felt like maybe it was okay. But once again, I think with the way that I recorded it and produced it, that's just not how this music is intended to be played. In fact, that's probably it. That like the way that it's recorded and produced, the way that it's mixed, the way I did the chords and stuff, it's not how this music is intended to be played. Maybe there's just a little bit too much focus on the foundation, which feels off, but I don't know, maybe that's just jazz. Anyway, this was a really fun one, despite kind of how I'm feeling right now. I'm really happy that I learned it. I'm really happy that I know it. I will probably not come back to this one to combine it into a single guitar chord and melody piece. But that said, this one was really cool. Definitely check it out. Hey, if you made it this far, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Like, let me know what I missed, what I don't get, what I'm doing wrong here, because this one just never felt cohesive to me. Even putting them together, like it felt as cohesive as it could get, but I don't know, they just didn't mesh well. At least not as well as when it was a saxophone and a walking bass and a piano and some drums. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe it's the mix. Maybe it's what I was producing. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one.